go to the page Ches. Okay, you got the book.
Nee, hier kan nooit.
Yeah. All right. So we're talking about over here, the last couple of weeks we're talking about the importance of something called bechino. What is bechino? Bechino means reflection about, reflecting on creation and seeing Hashem's Godloi v'tuva, His greatness, His wisdom, and His kindness, to see everything, get a clear appreciation for Hashem's kindliness and His great wisdom, and thereby, as we said, the idea of studying, the Rambam said, the Rambam and the Chavis of Abbas both say that the shortest way to come to Ahavas Hashem, but that's the highest madriga Ahavas Hashem, is through seeing Hashem, getting a real perception of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What does a real perception of HaKadosh Baruch Hu mean? As we move from the concept of intellect to something which we feel. Deya, Chochma, and Das. Deya. Chochma is the old example. Mom says, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Your mother told you that too, Shimon? And we believe our mother. Sure, if she says it's hot, it's hot. And yet, we all touch the stove. What happened when we touched the stove? Now, it went from Chochma to Deya. Now we know. We just look at the stove, we can already feel the heat. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's called Chochma, knowledge, and Deya. So we all know Hashem exists. We all know that. He said, Nochi Hashem Elokecha. Everybody says that. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. We'll talk about it all day. If you ask anybody who meet, is there a God in the world? Most people will believe, will say yes. And even the atheist, it's just a matter on how hot it gets before it takes him to say yes. Dear God, please save me. Right? No atheist in the foxhole. However, the difference is, it's all just knowledge. But to get what's called deya, to get that real feeling, like we feel the heat, the same concept, we feel that deya, we feel that knowledge of Hashem that's so real to us, to the point that we actually feel that someone's walking with us. That's something which takes a lot of work, and the way to get that, says the Rambam and the Chavis of Office, you get that through Bechina. Alright, that we spoke also, some other ideas we spoke about, and the world to come, in Olam Haba, so there's Ein Shomei Achila V'lo Shtia, there's no eat, no drink in the world to come. Tzadikim Yoshvin, the righteous people are sitting, V'atarisei Bereshim, and the crowns are on the head, and the Ne'anim, they're enjoying the Ziv HaShchina, the splendor of the Shchina. Explains the Rambam, what's this crown on their head? Crowns on the head? Crown on the head, says the Rambam, that's the Das that they acquired in this world. The day that they acquired and they worked on acquiring in this world, that's the crown, that's a crown for them. So you come to the next world, you have a weak crown. If you don't study Bechina. Another amazing idea we spoke about was that seeing, getting that perception, seeing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's greatness and kindness and everything to the point that we actually feel it. It's for real. So when you get that perception, it's so important that that's what Chiyas HaMeisim is. Chiyas HaMeisim is we come back in this world, right? And then we'll be able to see it even clearer. Alright, we mentioned that before. Okay, now we're holding over here, and we also explained an important point, that's why one of the greatest preparations we can have for Teshuvah is Bechina. Why is that? Because the greater our knowledge, our awareness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu becomes, the greater we're aware of any time we do something which is not right. The old question, why does Yom Kippur, which is atonement, come after Rosh Hashanah, when that's the day of the accounting? Rosh Hashanah is the day of the accounting. If we had the day of atonement before Rosh Hashanah, then we'll come to Rosh Hashanah with a clean slate. So really Yom Kippur should come before Rosh Hashanah.
Good question.
Good question. Right? This question, everybody asked this question. And we spoke here, the idea is because without Rosh Hashanah, there can't be a Yom Kippur. Because what did I do already? So I put the light on Shabbos. Did I hurt anybody? I didn't steal. I paid the electric bill. What's wrong? There's anything wrong with it. So what's wrong if I didn't eat kosher? I didn't steal it. I bought it. Not a problem at all. So what should be wrong with it? So really, there's no concept of sin until we can ingrain ourselves a concept that Hashem is the king. Hashem exists. When we ingrain ourselves that concept, the more we ingrain ourselves the concept of the existence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem is king, the more we can relate to the fact that perhaps we didn't do something right. So there would be no Yom Kippur before Rosh Hashanah. Because what am I doing Teshuvah for? It's meaningless. However, once we have Rosh Hashanah, we're working a whole day, we're screaming a whole day on top of our lungs. Hashem Melech, Hashem Moloch, Hashem Yimloich, Hashem is king, was king, will be king, forever. We ingrain ourselves to come to Hashem is king, then we can start focusing in on, if he's king means we gotta listen to him. Maybe we're not doing something right, but we gotta improve. So that's why. So that's what we're learning here today. Page Ches. The Damdus La'aliyah Tamidus, studying Bechina, is an opportunity to have a constant growth. V'hinei, has Damdus L'S'alis B'zeh Hu B'ligu. The opportunities to elevate ourselves with Bechina is limitless. Hinei Matzino, we find, Shavram Avinu, Avram our father, Hikir Aboidei Mitoich Abriya. Avram Avinu, he recognized the Creator from just looking at the world. How old was he? Yosef ben Shalosh. But it's all of 3. There was another Gesa, the Rambam, another Gesa, he was 40. And we call Malcolm, nevertheless, Hashem is Baruch, Asher ben Shiv. Till he was 70 years old, Hashem didn't speak to him. So it was from 3 to 70, or from 40 to 70, even though he already recognized his Creator at a much early age. But he didn't merit to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'chol hazman, and all this time, he was constantly, his emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu was becoming greater and greater. To the point, and what did it become so great? What was he working on? He was studying the world that Hashem made. Everything in this world, in fact, the Chavis Lavav says, in Shar Bechina, the Chavis Lavav says, if you want to understand what Hashem made in this world, you have to study the needs of mankind. Because the world was made for man. So if you study what man is all about, what makes man tick, you get a better understanding of what Hashem made in the world. You go, let's say, to a zoo, and you go to the elephant cage, right? You're only going to find things in that cage that have benefit for the elephant. If an elephant, what do you call that? A chimpanzee, you won't find that in the elephant cage. You find maybe that in the monkey cage, but not in the elephant cage. Why is that? Because it's not for benefits for elephants. But monkeys like to jump on these swinging things. In the monkey cage, you find that. Same thing. You study in this world something. You see something in this world. That means it's addressing a need of mankind. So if you want to know what need it's addressing, says the Chavis Lavav, study the needs of man, and you'll understand what that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, the purpose for everything He created in this world. So everything you see in this world, see, this was created just for birds. Nah. Because that's background. That's background music. you see that the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created oil and cars run on oil, that means Hashem had it planned already. It's going to come a time they're going to make cars. Because until cars came around, nobody using gasoline wasn't a product. Cement they're digging out of the ground. Cement, right? Animals don't use cement. That means Hashem knew, and there's tons and tons of cement. That means Hashem knew when He made the world that it's going to come a time that there are going to be sidewalks. You're going to build houses with cement. So that's, you see, that we don't know what it is, but if we study 20/20 hindsight, we can see. But if we study the needs of man, we'll get to realize, we'll see that in everything Hashem made. So you see, even though he started at 3, but the levels to grow is tremendous, and he kept working on it until he was 75, till 70 years old. Adam Rishon also, this was his job too. Right away, HaKadosh Baruch Hu put Adam Rishon in the Garden of Eden that was full of fruits. What was the reason for that? So this was he should also recognize his Creator. You can recognize the Creator through his wonderful deeds. Think about how come the fruits are orange, how come they have a good smell. The Creator knows that we enjoy colorful things. The Creator knows that we're attracted with beautiful smell. In fact, if you want to know if your peaches are ripe, smell them. If it doesn't have a good smell, it's not ripe yet. Unripe fruits don't have a smell. Apples, also, all fruits, when they turn ripe, watermelons don't smell. But fruits that grow on trees, when they come ripe, they have this beautiful smell to it. So you have to ask this question: why is it that the beautiful orange color, but it's only skin deep, right underneath the peel, it's white? All these questions have to be asked. Where did the yellow come from? Yellow is pigment. Pigment takes a lot of effort. And this was the story that Adam Rishon started when he was in Gan Eden. And the test the challenge that Adam Rishon was tested with, to work it, to guard it, it was how much he'll be able to go without losing focus from this great job that he had. Tremendous idea with it again. What does it mean, la'ovdu l'shomer? To work it and to watch it? It means he had to have his mind on it the whole time. Tremendous test. So ma b'china, what is b'china?
L'shomer means
to watch it, to guard it. To guard it means he has
watch himself and not to leave that.
That's what I'm going to say. Ma b'china, what's b'china? So after this beautiful introduction that we talked about, that we see the great obligation which we have to recognize our Creator, to realizing His wisdom, His intelligence, His strength, and His kindness. These 3 items we should see in everything. Through His creations and everything He formed this world. We explain that's the obligation of Bechina. So later Levaya, we just have to explain Derech Havoy, what's the right approach to do this. But now we know what we have to do. What's the way to do it correctly? Shavoida Zehu Anakuda Shakol Shara Bechina Shakol Shara Bechina. This is the essence of the whole Shara Bechina of Chavis HaVos. U'mitchila Naktim, we'll give an introduction. Shabahar B'min Shlemish HaKadosh Baruch Hu Miskabed Idea Lomi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is honored through His world with many different types of perfection. Ki harei habriya me'ida al yicholta. The creation, that testifies to Hashem's abilities. All powerful. Hainu al koicho gvurasa. Listen to the thunder. See the big rocks Hashem made, big gigantic. Remember standing on the foot of Camelback Mountain? I looked at, wow, what a big rock. That's a giant rock. I felt so small to the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that's nothing. Well, Gedulas Hashem, you see the greatness of Hashem. V'gam al chachmose, his wisdom is borach. Now you see a gnat, a small little thing, it can get through a screen. That's how small it is. That's micro, whatever it is. And it's a live thing. Amazing. You see the chachma of Hashem. V'chastoi, and his kindness and multi tachlis. You get a scratch in your pants, it doesn't grow back. You get a scratch in your skin, it heals. You get nano surgery, and it grows back, and you don't even see a scar. The best plastic surgeon that's available out there. Tremendous thing. The Gemara tells about certain chachamim, they're walking someplace. So he picked up his garment. He says, why pick up your garment? He says, because there's thorns over here, and if my garment rips, it's not going to grow back. But if my skin scratches, it's going to heal itself. Because Brog is tremendous chachma that HaKadosh has tachlis and his chesed. Like we say, Brog, you make on thundering. Remember we once upstate in Tannersville. The yeshiva was there for the summer, and it was up in the mountains. Tannersville was quite high, and there was a thunderstorm. You could hear the thunder, rolling thunder. Or every time you gave a thunder, you wanted to pull the blankets tight. I don't know why you thought that's going to help, but it gives a fright. The Gemara says, why does thunder come? You know why thunder? What's the purpose of thunder? The purpose of thunder is to iron out the creases that are in a person's character. A person hears that big thunder, he thinks the world's going to collapse on him. Even the animals, when they have this thunder, the animals run. Why are they running? It's a frightening thing. It's made to put a fright. First of all, to get out of the way. Lightning, get out of the way. It usually comes together. But another thing, the Gemara says, come to iron out. When you're pulling the blankets, you say, Hashem, I'll ask forgiveness from my friend. I'm sorry that I did that. I'll get better. It's made to put a fright in a person. So we see, all over. Mole Oilam is the whole world. Right? You can hear it all over the place. You make another bracha, lightning. God, His greatness and His kindness, Mole Oilam fills the whole world. Hainu, Shegam Gedulas Hashem v'tuvoi, the greatness of Hashem and His kindness. You can see the whole world. You can see that. The whole world. You can see His kindness and His greatness. The etzem chochmes.